Oh. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to this beautiful Sunday morning, a prelude to Earth Day and our regular Sunday service. So before we get officially started, take a moment, like I am, to turn off my phone so nothing will annoy us. And this morning we don't have a Zoom audience, so I'm even going to put my phone away because I won't need it for online joys and concerns. Our Happy, who runs the Zoom on Sundays, is, I think, in New Zealand by now. Surely they left Friday night, so I'm sure they're there by now. And she'll be back in a couple of weeks, so we have some people on YouTube, I'm sure. Now, before we get started, I'll invite committee chairs up. Anybody that would like, has something going on with the church that needs to let us know.
I'm not a chair, but I am not
Joey, the mic isn't on yet, Joey.
Any role that pertains to the life of the church.
Hello? Yes?
I can hear you.
Come on up here, Joey. You can use the.
I can hear you, Joey. You got no audience out there.
There it is.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I could work for Verizon. Okay, I just wanted to let you all know that we are planning a church-wide picnic at the Orlando Wetlands Park
Yay.
in Christmas. And the reason I'm saying it now is not all the details are in, but this detail is in. It is May the 6th. That's the first Saturday in May. Please mark your calendars because we really want to get a whole crowd there. And we have a pavilion. SAC, the Social Action Committee, will probably be providing some food, but that hasn't been determined yet. So you can bring a picnic lunch or maybe just bring side dishes, and we'll have hot dogs and beans, or hot dogs and hamburgers, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, May the 6th, from 11 to 3. Roy?
Can I bring my airboat?
No. And no pets.
Janet,
Lots of alligators.
Janet Levins for Denominational Affairs.
Woohoo.
So there is still time to write your own amendment to the proposed revisions of Article 2, the UUA's proposed revisions, and submit it via the online submission form. There's no obligation, it's just if you feel so inclined. And the link for the submission form is in the notable news. I also want to let you know that in May, the UUA will be hosting 3 Zoom meetings where you can meet and work through the amendments with UUs across the country. And these are open to all UUs, they're completely free, and you don't even have to have submitted an amendment. So I think this is a great opportunity. The dates are Thursday, May 11th in the evening, Thursday, the 18th in the evening, and Sunday, May 21st in the afternoon. And again, this is all in the notable news. And the only thing you have to do is register, and the registration link is in the notable news. So there you go.
Thank you, Janet.
Good morning. My name is Jules. On behalf of Women's Group, we are meeting May 5th, which is a Friday at 6:30. We'll be meeting in here, and I'm still figuring out what we're doing.
How about the wetlands?
Good morning. You want to have a good time and show off your social skills? Yes. I need greeters. The next 2 Sundays, see me, and we'll sign you up. Thanks.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lindy.
Good morning.
Today is sprung time, our auction, and instead of giving you a whole lot of announcements right now, I will give directions and everything at the end of the service. So right now, just relax and enjoy the service.
Hi, just a quick note on the auction. If you're auctioning on the murder mystery dinner, it's going to be held here, just so you know. So you don't have to travel all the way over to Titusville.
Hi, Karen Cowden on behalf of the Finance Pledge Team. We have been sending out thank yous, so we just wanted to confirm that if you have pledged, there's no pressure there, but if you have pledged that you have received those. I'm also going through the finance roster to make sure that whatever email that you put on your pledge cards is what we also have in our records, to just make sure we have it consistent, because our goal is hopefully next year that we can also email statements to you if that's your preference. If you chose not that, your preference will still mail them. So let me know if you didn't get that and you have pledged, and just checking that record. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, Lori Hospitality, and again, I've got the great opportunity, I'm looking for more baristas for the coffee hour. I'm going to be gone most of May, so if you like coffee, I would strongly suggest that some people volunteer. The sign-up sheets will be on the thing there. If you need some instructions or you're worried about doing it on your own, talk to me and I'll make sure that there's somebody who's done it before that can be there to help you. But please, we need a few more names. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Jim, and I just wanted to let you know at the DeLand UU on Monday night, tomorrow night, we're going to be showing Fellowship of the Springs. So if you haven't seen that documentary, it's incredible. Oscar Corral did a great job. He's the producer-director. He's going to zoom in and introduce the movie, and then we're going to watch it. It's an hour and 38 minutes long. Starts at 7 o'clock at the UU in DeLand tomorrow night. There's flyers up here.
Wonderful. A lot going on, and I think everyone right now should just take out your calendar and clear that first weekend in May, May 5th, 6th, and 7th, because we just heard of some wonderful, we've got Women's Group, we've got, what was on the 6th? Picnic, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so looking forward to that. That is a beautiful spot out there, so much wildlife. And then on the next day, we are going to surprise y'all and have our annual meeting early, because we had a lot of conflicting schedules and moving parts on the board and elsewhere, and so our annual meeting will be May 7th after service. So just clear that weekend and you won't have any problems. You can have a whole lot of fun. All right. So let's get started this morning with our worship service. As we approach Earth Day, I thought a lot about Rachel Carson and Silent Spring, which I just read about 10 years ago, and I was so mad after I read it that it was written so long ago, and here we still are with all these poisons in our atmosphere. And anyway, we're all working towards better things, I'm sure. But I decided to read today for the Beatitudes for Earth Sunday by one of my favorite UU ministers, Richard S. Gilbert. Blessed are the heavens, for they declare the power of creation. Blessed is the earth, our beloved home, for she is a planet of plenitude. Blessed are the waters thereon, for they gave rise to living things. Blessed is the land, for it is the source of life abundant. Blessed is the air we breathe, for it fires us to life and love. Blessed are the beasts of the fields, for they are glorious to behold. Blessed are the birds of the air, for they carve a graceful arc in the sky. Blessed are the mountains and the seas and the valleys, for their variety makes rich our habitat. Blessed are the fields of grain, the orchards of fruit, for they give sustenance, asking nothing in return. Blessed are the dwellers on earth, for they cherish the privilege of living upon it. Blessed are they who protect the earth and all her creatures, from the planets of the field to the trees of the forest, for their reward shall be harmony with the web of existence. Rejoice and be glad, for the earth and her people are one. We'll have our opening music. Oh, how appropriate, The Amazing Planet, with words by our member Lindsay Stroh, and it's adapted from Woody Guthrie's This Land Is Your Land.
Amazing planet, beloved planet, we must protect you, we must respect you. We'll fight pollution everywhere that we roam. Planet Earth is home sweet home. No toxic landfills, carbon emissions, put in remission, or use the power of the wind and the sun, clean energy for everyone. Sing along. Amazing planet, beloved planet, we must respect you, we must protect you. We'll fight pollution everywhere that we roam. Planet Earth is home sweet home. No leaky pipelines, no dirty coal mines. Water we're drinking will not be stinking. No pesticides, no, in the food that we eat. No plastic garbage in the sea. Amazing planet, beloved planet, we must respect you, we must protect you. We'll fight pollution everywhere that we roam. Planet Earth is home sweet home. Please heed my warning, the earth is warming. It's not surprising that seas are rising. We must cut carbon, protect the ozone layer, fight for pure water and clean air. Everybody, amazing planet, beloved planet, we must respect you, we must protect you. We'll fight pollution everywhere that we roam. Planet Earth is home sweet home. Planet Earth is home sweet home.
Thank you, Lindsay, for putting your talents to such good use. That was great. And of course, Larry and John, too. But the words were fantastic. Our chalice lighter this morning is Ani. Right? I got that right. She uses she, her pronouns. Ani. Okay. And she is 6, and she is very happy to have gone to her friend Russell's birthday. Please join me in the words on the screen. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, feign, and to share. And the affirmation of this church, which I feel kind of almost vibrating in this room right now. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. So welcome again. I see a few new faces in the crowd, a few faces we haven't seen in a while, a few new members. It's just wonderful looking out here and seeing everybody this morning. I hope you'll come again if you're not already a member of our group. We have something different every week, but the same feel. It's about our Unitarian Universalist faith and values, how we are out in the world, what we need to learn to be better out in the world, and all sorts of other topics that together we can work and make our world a better place. So come back more than once. Try out some of these other activities you heard about this morning, because I don't think any of them are restricted. So just come and have a good time and get to know us a little bit. One of the things you'll learn is that every Sunday service we set aside times for joys and concerns. This is a moment for our members in our community to share things that may be weighing on their hearts, or maybe they had a wonderful event this week that they want to share about. So either way, we'll give you a hug later if you're accepting hugs, or we'll celebrate together with you. So please come forward to the microphone, and if you would rather share from your seat, wave, and somebody will point out to me that you're waving, and I'll bring you the mic.
My joy today is that my son Eric, my daughter-in-law Kate, my grandson Brian, and my granddaughter-in-law Marie are here with us today. Marie is the chef for our special anniversary cake, so be sure and say hello to them.
I have a joy. I got my hair cut.
I wish I had hair. Hi, I'm David McElroy. I have a joy and I guess it's a concern. The joy is that Marilyn and I are starting our theater back up, and we're doing a stage reading next Saturday. You're all invited, and Sunday. It's on the wall there, or on the board there, whatever, door, whatever. Anyway, I'd love for you to come. The other thing is, I just want to celebrate my daughter, Chloe McElroy. 19 years she's been here, and I just want to say, as a member of this church and as her father, she's done an outstanding job, and I want to tell her how much I love her.
That's beautiful. So you all know a little bit of the ongoing saga about my parents. They're in their 80s. Both went into the emergency room this past week. Mother with heart palpitations, dad with ongoing infection issues. Anyway, turns out mom was just having a hot anxiety attack, so the doctor gave her a tranquilizer. Much better. And dad, the bone infection did not come back, and he's doing better. And in fact, I saw them both yesterday, and they're happy, and I'm thrilled. It's just wonderful to see them happy.
Yay. You're scared? Do I come stand with you? Yeah, okay.
My dog got hurt and he got a bruise on his ear, and he had to go to the doctor and a vet, and he had to take a shot.
Ooh, is he going to be okay?
Yes, he's gonna be okay.
Good. All right, good job.
Good morning, Kelly Buchanan. I have a joy and a concern. The joy is my mother had a tricuspid valve repair surgery about 6 weeks ago. She's doing fantastic. She's recovering quite nicely. She's up and walking around the park and walking a half a mile. So this has only been 6 weeks. So I'm excited about that. My concern is a dear cousin that I grew up with in Memphis, Tennessee, Mississippi. She was diagnosed with bone cancer in her leg.
And so she's in chemotherapy, and I spoke with her last night, and I just said, I'll put it out there to my church family, just to kind of put a prayer there for her. So her name is Kim. She lives in Mississippi, so thank you.
Hello. Hi. So have a joy to be around wonderful people in a safe country. And I'm excited to go back home, but I have some concern to go back in Haiti tomorrow morning. Thank you for having me for this whole time, guys. And I have some concern, but please keep me in prayer. Thank you.
Okay. I went to Russell's birthday party, so that's it.
That's it? He went to Russell's birthday party.
Hi, my name's Annika Wheeler, and one time a snake was on my fence and it flew over to one side to the other tree. Our neighbor's dog got bitten by the snake, and Ozzy put his nose. There were plenty of baby snakes on there, and Ozzy got bit by one of them and he got hurt, but he's okay.
Let's join together in a moment of silence to honor what we've heard this morning and what may still be in our hearts, and of course, what's in the greater world. Thank you. It'll never be long enough, will it? To continue in the vein that David McElroy so eloquently started this morning, our Time for All Ages this morning is going to be presented by our RE kids, I think, and you. So we'll welcome up James and the kids to get started.
Hello. So as we all know, today is the last day of our RE teacher, Chloe. So what we're going to do is the kids are going to come up and share some of their favorite memories with her over the years. And I'm going to come and pass out some pieces of paper for you guys to write notes with your well wishes and your favorite memories and anything else nice that you'd like to say to her. So here's Jules and the kids, and I will get those papers to you right now.
I had good times with Chloe, and it was very fun. I went to the trampolinium. I'm gonna miss Miss Chloe. Same.
Okay, Miss Chloe made me a sword, and I'm gonna miss her too.
I'm gonna miss Miss Chloe, and I really like the times when she went to Universal with us.
What are we saying?
I'm just saying, so he's been really for one day. Okay, so Miss Chloe's gonna leave for like 1 day. Okay? And
You can just talk.
okay. So, Miss Chloe's gonna leave in like 1 day. Yeah. I'm gonna miss Miss Chloe so.
Thank you, Miles.
Same.
Okay.
Bye, Chloe.
I just want to say, if any of you didn't get a piece of paper, please let me know.
And
Thank you.
we have a bowl up here, so you can take a little time and write your note, and maybe after service, you can put them in the bowl, and we'll give them all to Chloe to take home and read and enjoy. And just know that Chloe is still a member of this congregation. We will still be seeing her. She'll be here participating in other ways, I hope, and her loving spirit will continue to brighten our walls. So a big round of applause and love for Miss Chloe. All right. And as you can see, Chloe does accept hugs, so, you know, later. All right, our interlude and offering this morning. This month, we have chosen the Florida Right to Clean Water as our Share the Plate. So, of course, we made a small donation this morning for Jim's organization to get started, but give as generously as you can because we do share our plate. And Jim is going to come up and play a Native American flute melody for us while our children, so walk slowly, guys, and we'll hear more of his beautiful flute. It's a beautiful melody, and the flute itself is just gorgeous. Did you make that? No. Okay. It's really beautiful. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Let's sing our children out so they can go and have some fun and learn how to say more words because, we're UUs. Go, we love you and bless you and send you on your way. We love you and bless you today and every day. Yeah, someday we'll do it as a round, David. Okay, thank you. If they haven't yet. Okay, our speaker this morning, Jim Durocher, is a member of our DeLand UU and part of the Right to Clean Water. And I'm going to let him tell you a little bit more about himself because I forgot to print out his bibliography that he even sent me. So, welcome.
Thank you, Martha, and thanks everybody for being here and allowing me to come and talk to you a little bit about Florida and our issues. We've got a lot of them, as we all know. I'm preaching to the choir here, right? Yeah. But before I get into my talk, I really want to go to the 7 principles that, we kind of all focus on and believe in. And, when I looked at the 7 principles, I don't know, just a few weeks ago, and I knew this was coming up, and I thought, I was thinking the 7th principle, right? Which is respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. Okay, so that's a no-brainer, right? But then I looked at all the rest of them, and everything I'm going to talk about fits into this. I mean, look at principle number 2, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. How can we, put sewage in a river and then there's people living downstream or pumping effluent down into the aquifer, and the rest of Florida gets their drinking water from that? That's not human relations. It's certainly not compassion. And the 4th principle, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. So I'm hoping to bring you a little bit of truth today. It's not all going to be pleasant, but maybe you can find some meaning in it, and that makes it worthwhile, I think. And then the 5th principle, the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregation and in society at large. I mean, what's more democratic than a grassroots movement of all volunteers that are going out and getting petitions signed to get this amendment on the ballot for 2024 to where we can vote on it and to create a new constitutional right in the state of Florida for ourselves. So that fits in as well as anything I can ever think of. So anyway, I want to get into the program a little bit now, but think about those 7 principles as I'm going through this. You might see some other similarities. First thing I want to do is mention that all the photos in this were taken by my good friend John Moran, and as you can see, he's an incredible photographer, and he's kind of the photographer laureate for the state of Florida, and he's been documenting springs for the last 25 years. He used to be the photographer of the Miami Herald, but then went off on his own many years ago. So I know a lot of you probably, because this is Orange County, correct? Yes. Yeah. Oh, really? How funny is that? Okay. Well, I'm glad we're over here then, because you guys passed a right to clean water in Orange County. Unfortunately, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. The state decided that you didn't have a right to do that. So why do we need another law to protect our waters? And what's the current state of our waters? Well, where is that little gizmo? Here it is. All right, good. So, let's see. I don't know how it got to that, but anyway, that's where I want it to be. But, so 80% of Florida springs, which we have over 1,000, are impaired with excess nitrogen. That's just unbearable. Do you guys realize that in Central Florida here, we have more springs, the densest concentration of springs anywhere on planet Earth, which means anywhere in the Unitarian universe, right? I just thought of that this morning, actually. I mean, there's no place else like this in the whole world, and we take it for granted. Our springs basically are as special as the Grand Canyon or Yellowstone. It's just that we don't have a national park for the springs. But that may change. Oscar Corral, the guy that did the Fellowship of the Springs, that's one of his projects. He wants a national park in the state of Florida that encompasses the springs. So I would highly support that. But the springs have declined in water flow also by over 30%. So Silver Springs alone, you guys are familiar with that one probably, Everybody's been there for the boat ride, right? The glass bottom boats. Of course, you can't see as well as you used to, but it's down by 38%, according to Dr. Bob Knight. So, because we got too many straws in the aquifer and we're pulling out too much water. There's almost 1 million acres of estuaries and 9,000 miles of streams and rivers in Florida that have fecal coliform in them. So, there's a Indian River Lagoon report. You guys are familiar with it, but there's an awful lot of F's on here. That's by a scientific organization that has rated the Indian River Lagoon, and all those F's are from them. So it's if you want to look at this, you're welcome to look at that later. But it's pretty catastrophic. So. So it's good to be ranked number 1 if you're a sports team, right? Or if you're in line at the deli, maybe. But Florida is ranked number 1 in the nation for the most acres of lakes that are too polluted for swimming or healthy aquatic life. So how many have seen that on the news? I'm sure you've read it in the paper in the last week or two. No? No, because they're not reporting it. But we are. We're number 1. This year we turned into number 1 in the nation for the most acres of polluted lakes. So then we know the pollution in the lagoon has killed the seagrass, 46,000 acres that we've lost there. 58% of the seagrass is gone. And in the last 2 years, we've lost 1,901 manatees. So most of those is from starvation or from health effects from being malnourished. So this year alone, we're at 241 as of April 7th. I checked it last night. The numbers are in as of April 7th. 241 manatees have died. And most of them are down in the southwest this year, where usually they've been in Brevard County in that area the last 2 years. So, and one of the reasons there's so many dying down there is the red tide. Have you guys heard about the red tide that's going on the West Coast? It's terrible. It's costing them millions of dollars a day in lost revenues. Now, for millions of dollars a day, we could do an awful lot of cleanup. But the money's not being spent right. Harmful algal blooms are another problem that we have all over the world right now. Is we're having harmful algal blooms, and this puts out a toxin into the air, and it's very damaging to human health as well as the animals. So I know somebody that had their dog die just from drinking water out of a lake in Orlando. So on the bottom of Lake Okeechobee, 50,000 tons of phosphorus are sitting on there from the sugar plantations there. So, and the state, in 2018, the state did a test to see, and of almost 4,300 water bodies, over half of them were impaired. So that was in 2018. So I'm sure today it's up to 70, 80%. So, and then one of the other issues, and I'll try to close on the bad news. They've issued 23,000 permits in the last 50 years to pollute our waters. 23,000. So, so what options do we have? So, Uncle Joe says that what makes him proud of America is that we have lots of possibilities. And when I hear him say that, it's true. We do. We have a lot of possibilities. We've got a lot of options. But what option do we have as citizens to correct these problems? Well, we can vote in people, but that hasn't worked out too good, especially in Florida. So we can't get things done. So the Green Amendment is the way to go, okay? There's 3 states right now that have a Green Amendment. Montana and Pennsylvania were the first 2. They did it back in the hippie days. back in the 70s. And they decided they want a green amendment. And the only other one is New York. And in 2021, they actually got it. And Maya Van Rossum, who wrote the book on green amendments, here it is, I got it to prove it, and incredible woman. She's the Delaware River Keeper, has been for 30 years. She came down for 2 weeks and toured Florida, did book signings on her new book, because this is her second book, and helped us out a lot with our campaign. And but she, she believes that the Green Amendment is the only way we can go. We've got to change the Constitution. So what do Floridians need? Well, the first thing we need is protection from special interests, because we know what happens with that. Special interests kind of write the rules. The second thing we need is protection from changing political ideologies. Okay, every time an election happens, you get new people in, politics change. Of course, that hasn't been the case in Florida for a while, but and the other thing we need is protection from permitted harm. Okay, consider wetlands permits. Okay, Florida has lost 9.3 million acres of wetlands so far. And that's over half. We've lost over half our wetlands have been filled in, dredged, or covered over and built on. So we have plenty of regulations, but permits corrupt the system of our regulatory system, okay? And the kidneys is what the wetlands are. If the earth was a living thing, which it is, the wetlands are the kidneys. And we've already lost one of them, and the second one's on dialysis now. So, we think we're kind of separate from nature, but we keep being assaulted by the truth every time you turn around. You turn on the news or the weather, and you're getting assaulted by the truth. So let me go to the next one. So we've got a great Florida statute. That's not it. Is this thing advancing on itself? Am I going the right and wrong way? Yeah, I guess I'm going the wrong way. Sorry, guys. Okay, here it is. Endangered Environmental Protection Act. Florida has an Environmental Protection Act. And look at this thing. The Department of Legal Affairs, any political subdivision or municipality of the state, or a citizen of the state, may maintain an action by injunctive relief against any government agency or authority charged by law with the duty of enforcing laws, rules, and regulations for the protection of the air, water, and other natural resources of the state, to enforce such laws, rules, and regulations. So we have a really good Environmental Protection Act, okay? The problem is, and you knew there was going to be a big but here, and I'm afraid it's corporations' butt and legislators' butts that are got their butt in here. But this is part of that same statute, Section E. No action pursuant to this section may be maintained if the person or government agency or authority charged with pollution, impairment, or destruction of the air, water, or other natural resources of the state is acting or conducting operations pursuant to a currently valid permit. See what I'm saying about the permit system? And the crazy thing is, 1.7 permits per day have been issued in for the last 50 years. and 23,000 of them. And under current law, once a permit is issued, no legal action can be taken. That's the system that Florida has. So let me tell you a little bit about FRON. I'm the East Central Regional Director for the Florida Rights of Nature Network. And we got together in 2019. We met at Chuck O'Neill's house. We got Democracy School from a guy from Washington State. Came and educated us about how the system really works and blew our minds. You know, many of us had been in the regulatory system or had been attorneys that were dealing with corporate issues, but we had no idea that the system was rigged against us. And so after we got together with Thomas Lindsay, we went to the University of Florida, Levin School of Law, had a big conference there, organized a conference, and FRON was formed out of that conference. What we decided to do, our first effort was to go county by county in the state, the 20 charter counties, because a charter county has their own form of government. So what we wanted to do is go one by one and get a rights of nature law in those. So Orange County took the lead, okay? And one of the reasons is because the Orange County commissioners had appointed the Charter Review Commission. And the Charter Review Commission was open to listening to our ideas. And so they got it together after 11 months, or 11 meetings over 7 months. They actually voted 9-6 to put it on the ballot. There's 3 ways to get it on the ballot. The legislature can put something on the ballot themselves, or you can use the Charter Review Commission, or you can get petition signatures, okay? Those are the only 3 ways of getting something on the ballot. So amazingly, as you guys well know, 89% of Orange County voters voted for it. Now, when you get 89%, you got Republicans, Democrats, independents, and non-affiliated that are voting for it. So it was overwhelming. It was actually the highest approval rating of anything that was on the ballot in 2020. So, and after 18 months of citizens here having standing in a court of law, only 1 lawsuit had been filed, just 1 in 18 months. And it was to stop the development of 115 acres of wetlands and damage to 2 creeks and 2 lakes just north of the B line, okay? And so, but we got it on the ballot in 2020, in March, but the state had been watching us very closely all over, and they decided that they were going to try to stop the idea that we were bringing forward, which was that nature should have some rights. So they snuck this 1 paragraph into Senate Bill 712, which was Debbie Mayfield's bill. Started out as the Clean Waterways Act. When they got done changing it and weakening it, it was actually dubbed the Unclean Waterways Act. And so, and let me just read this to you just for a second here. A local government regulation, ordinance, code rule, comprehensive plan, charter, or any other provision of law may not recognize or grant any legal rights to a plant, an animal, a body of water, or any part of the natural environment. Now, you know, I think we need the natural environment if we're going to survive. So, you know, what they're saying is that we can't, you know, do ourselves a favor and try to protect our own selves. So, consequently, the state preempted. It was voted on almost unanimously by Republicans and Democrats because they usually don't read the full bill, 111 pages. They didn't see that 1 paragraph in there and didn't gripe about it. So the court case was dismissed by the judge. So the state, you know, they actually forced us to go from a county by county basis to a state amendment. And that's where we are today. So let's get into the amendment a little bit. And This is the ballot summary, okay? And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this amendment creates a fundamental right to clean and healthy waters. The amendment may be used to sue state executive agencies for harm or threatened harm to Florida's waters, which include aquatic ecosystems. And then it goes on to define terms, definitions, and remedies. And the key here is that a fundamental right has more authority than a legislative law. Okay, so basically, we would preempt the preemption that the state did. So it would serve them right, wouldn't it? That the citizens rise up and say, you know, we're not going to take your decision, and we're going to protect ourselves and our kids and future generations. So, the purpose of this, and this is straight off the amendment, so you can read this later, but waters sustain all forms of life. Clean and healthy waters protect and promote substantial interests, including human health, safety, and welfare, native fish and wildlife, conservation of natural resources, outdoor recreation, aesthetic values, business opportunities, property values, and economic interests. So, who can argue that we all need clean water? So, and this is also right off of the amendment, which is the Declaration of Right, okay? Where you have to establish, this amendment had to establish itself with some authority. So the people have the inherent political power and to create a fundamental right to clean and healthy waters. And that's what gives us the authority, because that is in the Constitution right now, that all political power is inherent in the people, okay? And that's a founding thing for our democracy. So I think this is the last one that I want to go over real detailed, and then it'll get a little easier. But think about a water body that you like, okay, that you care about, and see if it's not in this list. But this is right from the amendment, and we have to be specific when we wrote this amendment, okay? We took 3 months to write this amendment. We had 3 constitutional attorneys working on it. So, but the Supreme Court's going to review this when we get to 223,000 signatures, and it's got to pass their muster. So, waters refers to the aquatic ecosystems of aquifers, bays, creeks, estuaries, estuarine systems, lagoons, lakes, rivers, riverine systems, springs, streams, wetlands, intercoastal and coastal waters within the boundaries of the state, and shall include the natural tributaries and artificial waterways which impact these water bodies. The term shall include fresh, brackish, saline, tidal, surface, ground, and underground water associated with these water bodies. So if it sounds pretty inclusive, I think it is, and you can see how happy those turtles are. You know, I mean, if they had teeth, he'd be smiling. So what does Florida need? We need petition gatherers. We need this thing to work. All right, yeah, we need petition gatherers. We need a lot of signatures. We got 900,000 that we have to get it on the ballot. The legislature has not made it easy to pass laws, okay? They don't like us doing it, they like to do it. And so they make it difficult, but it's doable. So what else do we need? We need letters to the editor. We need social media mavens. There's a place for anybody that wants to help. We've got all kinds of different things to do. So what can I do? Did you just ask that question, Martha? No? Somebody, I thought I heard it. So what can I do to be part of this important effort? I'm sure I heard it. But first thing you can do is sign the petition, okay? And we've got them right over here. The second thing you can do is get 5 others to sign it. It's easy. You know, you got friends and relatives. get them to sign the petition. If they're a Florida registered voter, they can do it. You can become a Right to Clean Water ambassador. Okay, it's very simple. You just go to the website and you can put your information in there and become an ambassador. And there's no requirement. You just do what you can when you can. And we're all volunteers, so it's grassroots effort. We got people all over the state doing this. If you know a business or if you own a business, become a partner with us. And if you can also connect us with organizations. Almost everybody in here probably belongs to an organization of some kind besides this. And, connect us with those organizations. And then they can sign on and be a supporting group, and we just get the word out there. You can ask your candidates if they support Floridians' right to clean water. And then you can also donate. So, and you can do that right on the website. Now, one of the things that I brought today is a bunch of packets that you can pick up at the door on your way out. And in each one is 10 petitions, and a flyer tells you a lot more about the amendment, and my card that you can contact me directly. And so, Debbie is there she is. Debbie's right over here. And she is the county captain for Orange County, okay? And so she will come to the church and pick up the petitions, or the address is already on this. You can mail them in, okay? So, I love Aldo Leopold. All ethics rest upon a single premise, that the individual is a member of the community of interdependent parts. Sound like number 7? And the land ethic simply enlarges the boundaries of the community. It changes the role of Homo sapiens from conqueror of the land community to plain member and citizen of it. So, and then this from the American Association of Geographers. And I look at this photo that John took from inside Ginny Springs. And just an amazing photography there. But the rights of nature paradigm aims for a fundamental shift in governance, providing nature with personhood and guardians to defend its rights in court. Helps change the framework to a form of ecological governance rather than laws that provide only for human needs. So I think, a paradigm shift is exactly what humanity needs right now. And if we don't make some serious changes, our future is going to be different than what we would like. So with that, let's see if I want to make sure I didn't forget something here. Oh, Earth Day event. I knew I was going to forget that. We're going to be at Lake Eola next Saturday, and I would like to have 20 people to help us. And so we've got 3 booths there. They've all been donated to us. We're going to partner with other organizations. The Kissimmee Waterkeeper has offered us half of their booth. The League of Women Voters, I think it's Seminole. Is it Seminole? Yeah, has offered us part of their booth. And then the Campus Climate Corps is another group that offered us to have part of their booth. So we got 3 booths, and then Larry, the guy that puts on this huge festival, said we could have roamers. Now that's when you really pick up a lot of petitions signed, because you can actually go up to people and ask them if they would like to sign it. It's real easy, and you get one of these cool t-shirts, So I'm going to have a bunch of t-shirts with me. I'm going to be there because that's the biggest event in my 8 counties. I'm responsible for 8 counties in Florida on the East Coast. But I'm going to be there. Debbie will be there, and also Cheryl, another one of our group. So, and so we need people to come out. Give Debbie your name before you leave, if you can come and help us out next Saturday, and grab some petitions to take with you, grab one of these pamphlets. And with that, I'll stay as long as you want.
You did perfect, right at your 30 minutes. How
Wow.
wonderful. Question, you want to stay for lunch afterwards?
I'll stay and talk. Yeah.
Okay, today, I remember I mentioned to him in advance that today was a day of our fundraising auction and fun, so I'm not going to take questions now, but there's so much to know. So you'll
Right,
stay
yeah.
with us and hang out. We
Okay.
get to meet Debbie more and talk to you guys
Yeah,
as we
okay.
set up and have more fun.
Yeah, okay. All right,
And
sounds
thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
We need more of us paying attention, because I don't want us to be like Jackson, Mississippi, or Flint, Michigan, or places that have just not treated human beings and everyone else with respect. So we got to start paying attention. And some of these statistics I didn't know. I knew it was bad. All right, so let's extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now for one of our favorite UU hymns written by Peter Mayer, we've got John and Larry and maybe Michael?
Yeah,
And the
I'd
words
like
are up?
to especially thank Michael, because last minute he agreed to sing. Stephanie was going to sing the song, but she's not well today, so
Oh.
she couldn't make it, so.
I hope you're watching, Stephanie. We miss you. And thank you, Michael. Beautifully done. Thank you. Closing words today are short from Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. So I'm going to invite Lindsay up here for a moment to give us instructions about all the fun that comes next.